Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Moody Gardens. Y'all, it's hard to believe, but the holiday season is right around the corner, and Moody Gardens in Galveston is getting ready to kick things off in a really big way. Joining us today is Jared Schaller to give us a sneak peek at all the holiday magic in store, and these little elves have been working hard, so we're happy to see you, Jared. Good morning.
It is October, but we're only 70 days till Christmas.
And you're counting down, I know. Okay, one of your biggest highlights, Iceland, Christmas around the world. You've been putting a lot of effort into. It is the country's largest indoor ice sculpture attraction. Tell me about that.
28,000 square feet. That is large. A few mansions, if you want me to say. And this year's theme is Christmas around the world. So it's basically going to take you around country to country. It is massive. There's the Eiffel Tower right there.
Wow.
It's 30 feet tall, and it's going to be also, we're going to have a Statue of Liberty, we're going to have the Great Wall of China, we're going to have the pyramids, and we also have Shivers Ice Bar if you need an ice cold beverage.
Is that made of ice?
That's all made out of ice. 2 million pounds of ice.
Wow.
It's 7,000 blocks total.
And you've actually brought people over from China who are specialists in this.
From Harbin, China, that's where they have a huge giant ice festival. This is where it all started, and they're there right now. You can actually watch the entire process live on our webcams at moodygardens.org.
That's a really good thing to do with your lunch break today.
Yes.
Just log in, see what they're up to, because it's so cool, and it's painted by the time they're done. So it's not just ice everywhere. It really gets brought to life 3D version.
It's a massive process, and they only have like about 5 weeks to get it all done.
I am impressed. Okay, now something brand new, holiday fantasy. North Pole's Got Talent.
North Pole's Got Talent. Walt and Holly are looking for the best talent of the North Pole. It's a fun stage show this year. Of course, it has the holiday carols and songs, but it also has aerialist fire dancers. I didn't know you could dance with fire.
I didn't
We also
either.
have comedians, magicians. It's just a great time for the whole family. And you know, if you're in the audience, sometimes you may get actually called up on stage to show off your talent.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. I can't do this sort of talent like this gentleman's got here.
I'd fall. I'd literally fall 30 feet and just be like, end it now. I'm sorry.
Me too, but it's certainly lovely to watch. And this festival stage show also comes with a delicious meal, right?
It comes with about 50 different options.
Wow.
Of course, we're going to have a holiday ham, holiday turkey, cornbread, gravy, stuffing, cranberry sauce. I could keep going, but literally a delicious meal, something for the whole entire family. Of course, with vegetarian and gluten-free options.
Wonderful. Okay, and there are other attractions that families can enjoy. I say that the truth is there's so much to cover. Talk to me a little bit about it.
We're doing our holiday lights trail, so that's all outdoors right next to the water, so it's nice, and it's 2 million lights. We're also going to have our ice skating ring, and of course we have our aquarium pyramid, 10,000 marine life inside, our rainforest pyramid, discovery pyramid, ropes course and zip line, and of course our golf course.
You rattled that off so fast. I'm really impressed. Okay, and for parents looking to keep kids engaged during school breaks, you know, they're coming up. We're going to have one for, sometimes we get a little fall break, but then Thanksgiving, the holidays, that sort of thing. You've got fall and winter day camps.
For parents who need a vacation from their vacation, we have for Thanksgiving week and 2 weeks for Christmas, you know, book a hotel package and you can drop your kids off at 8:30 a.m. Kids will spend the entire day in one of our pyramids. They'll get to do science experiments, arts and crafts, and the best thing, they'll actually get to hear from the people who work with these animals and get to see and meet dozens of different animals each and every single day.
Do they get to see and meet penguins?
Oh, that's actually, I think that's on Wednesdays. So we
Okay.
have sea lions, we have
Good
jellyfish, we have sharks, so it's a bunch of different animals, Komodo dragons, it's sloths, monkeys.
And what do mom and dad or parents or caregivers get to do once they've dropped them off?
They can either relax at our spa, they can go eat at one of our restaurants, or they can explore Galveston Island. We have a lot of great shopping options, and we also have a lot of beaches to go out and explore. It's just a great relaxing opportunity.
And y'all really crank it up for the holidays, I know, so there's a lot to do. And there's so much to do, in fact, that you might get tired out from just the one day, even though it's a quick drive from Austin. So let's talk about making it into an overnight stay and the hotel atmosphere atmosphere?
The hotel is going to be decked out in Christmas lights. It's going to be like a beacon once you hit the causeway. It's going to be 2 million lights plus, and it's just going to be decked out for the holidays. A great time. Usually we encourage people to do 2 nights, 3 days, explore the property, explore Galveston Island. You know, we have 2 cool packages this year. The VIP, very important penguin, where you do get to meet a penguin. You get to paint with a penguin. We have 7 different species. We also have our pre-opening tour where you can get to go in before everybody else. It's the cleaning and feeding time when the animals are most active.
Wow, that's really cool. Okay, and where can people go for more information and to plan their trip? Importantly, there are a lot of knockoffs out there. We want to make sure that people get tickets to the right place.
For tickets, for hotel stays, and also to watch our ice carvers to go live, go to moodygardens.org right now, and you can see it all happen right now.
You are a busy man.
I'm tired, I'm sorry.
But congratulations on everything y'all have accomplished for the holiday season. I can't wait to see a little bit more. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, for more details on Moody Gardens holiday attractions, and there are many, check out moodygardens.org.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Serenity Mental Health Centers. Ryan Leonard is an Austin resident who faced ongoing challenges with sleep while managing his mental health. Ryan turned to transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS, over at Serenity Mental Health Centers. He, alongside psychiatric nurse practitioner Jeffrey Twist, is here to tell us how Serenity Mental Health Centers can make a difference. Jeff, can you tell us about TMS and who's a great candidate for this?
TMS is transcranial magnetic stimulation. It is an MRI-like intervention that unblocks neural pathways that can be implicated in conditions like depression and other mental disorders.
Yeah. And Ryan, you recently went through this to kind of help you on your own mental health journey. So I want you to take us back in time a little bit. Tell us about your mental health journey.
I mean, sleep was always the biggest issue that I've had to deal with for as long as I can remember, and coupled with anxiety and depression, it made the day-to-day pretty difficult, you know, being exhausted, but then also my brain was always on high alert for other anxious tendencies, but then also struggling to get out of bed every day. It was always tough.
Yeah, and what I love about mental health stories, Ryan, is I'm sure there's someone else who has walked through the same journey that you have, or similar anyway. So now that you've kind of gone through TMS, what are the biggest changes that you've noticed in yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I feel like a different person so much as I feel like the best version of myself at the moment. You know, I feel a lot more motivated, definitely to get out of bed every day, but also I'm excited to go back to bed because I can actually sleep a lot better now. And I feel like that was the biggest milestone that helped me manage everything else emotionally.
Yeah. So, Jeff, can you tell us how TMS helps regulate sleep, kind of helps us get on that better path?
Yeah, studies have shown that TMS helps with REM sleep, with sleep quality, memory consolidation, generally just better quality sleep. And so, TMS, we have many patients who have had a lot of success with treating their insomnia.
Yeah, so you guys are a great place to start to kind of help with this ongoing issue. So, Jeff, where can patients find Serenity clinics?
Well, we have a clinic right here in Austin and throughout the state of Texas and nationwide.
Yes, so sounds like plenty of options, right? Yeah. All right. Well, Jeff, Ryan, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Take back your life. Learn more now at serenitymentalhealthcenters.com/Austin. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Serenity Mental Health Centers.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by the American Heart Association. Today, you guys, is World Restart a Heart Day, and Mark Johnston has had an up-close and personal experience to share with us. He's here to talk more about how the American Heart Association can help save lives. And first of all, Mark, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And this is incredible. You've got a special experience to share because you have done it, Mark. You have saved a life.
I have. I performed CPR on a gentleman that it was very nerve-wracking, and it's a very emotional moment. But yeah, I had a success story. There's so many non-success stories, but I had one that the gentleman lived. Mm-hmm. I mean, he survived.
He was slumped over. You came out into the parking lot.
I walked out into the parking lot. He looked like he was sleeping on his steering wheel in his car. And I knocked on the window, and I knew, let me check on him, make sure everything's okay. And I wasn't getting any response, so I went ahead and opened his door. And I could tell that he's in trouble because he was turning white. And I checked for a pulse, and there was no pulse. And I'm like, boy,
this is scary.
Yeah, it's scary. This gentleman's in trouble. So something clicked for me at the time. You kind of felt like freezing and calling 911 or not getting involved, but I tell you, something really clicked. I took a CPR class years ago, and I know what to do, So I grabbed him by the chest and I pulled him out into the parking lot. In hindsight, I should have called 911. But I didn't. I got him into the parking lot and I started CPR. Mm-hmm. And when I started the chest compressions on the CPR, I was hoping to get a pulse. But that's kind of not what CPR is. CPR just kind of moves your bloods through your body and into your brain to prevent brain damage. And so I just kept doing the compressions. I did go ahead and give him a breath of air into because I wanted to make sure he wasn't choking. Sure. And we had air flowing through his system. So I did a breath. I could see his chest rise, so I knew that he had clear airway. So then I went back to the CPR. And at this point, everybody was seeing what was happening. Somebody did call 911. Nice. Thank goodness. And I continued CPR. Somebody else knew CPR, came over and started CPR. And and then another person actually ran into a building and got an AED, an external defibrillator. Matter of fact, I was noticing that in the studio. Y'all have AEDs out here, which is good to have. A lot of businesses and schools have that. Somebody ran in, got the AED. We hooked up the AED. We pushed the button. We got a shot to his heart. And the AED, we got a heartbeat.
Oh my goodness. The
CPR was not able, and I don't know if a CPR, you're always going to get a heartbeat. You're just really trying to keep the person alive, okay? You're pumping for the heart, you're thinking like a piston. So you're keeping that blood flowing through the body, mostly to the brain, because brain damage can happen in about 4 minutes. Wow. So you're dealing with a matter of minutes here. And permanent brain damage, on average, happens about 7 minutes. So you want to get that blood flowing. And interesting enough, the average response time to the first responders is about 8 minutes. Oh. So this is why a lot of people pass away prior to the EMS getting there. So you got to get that blood flowing through the brain, get some oxygen in there to keep them alive, keep them going until the EMS has a chance to get there. The AED, we got the heartbeat before the ambulance got there. And, they took over and the gentleman lived.
Oh, it's amazing.
What an emotional moment.
Yeah.
It was so,
You're a hero.
No, I wouldn't call me a hero, but I can tell you what was very impactful in my life is his family came to visit me, the next day. And this is where I get choked up, so I'm going to try to keep from crying. But, whenever you have the wife, the kids, I had a 9-year-old boy come up to me and say, "Thank you for saving my dad." I'm sorry. It's something that I rank that with one of my highest accomplishments, something I've never, accomplished anything better than to be able to save that man's life so that little boy could have a dad, Oh, I'm sorry, I get choked up over this because
it's really
it's an emotional time, but I want everybody to experience that. I want everybody, there was 350,000 people that died that lost their lives last year because a lot of people don't know what to do. And they freeze or they don't want to get involved for different reasons. And, fortunately, I didn't do that. My gentleman lived. People that have heart attacks, heart arrest out in the public, usually there's people around, but they don't get involved. And so
they think someone else will.
Yeah, they want to leave it to someone else or the EMS, or some of the reasons I've heard that they don't want to make things worse. You're not going to really make anything worse. I mean, the person needs your help. They don't want to get in trouble, like they're afraid they're going to get sued if they do something wrong or the gentleman passes around. But there's a Good Samaritan law in the state of Texas, at least, that will protect people, that they're not going to get in trouble.
Right.
For
giving aid.
Yeah. And some of the students that I've trained, I've asked them, why wouldn't you get involved? And I had a lady that had long nails, and she says, I'm afraid I'm going to cut his skin. Cut his skin. I mean, you can heal.
You might even have broken ribs after doing this properly, because it's hard compressions that you
There's been people that report that they can hear cracking happening, but ribs can heal, broken bones can heal, cuts can heal. We got to get this person's heart going, and we're teaming up with the American Heart Association to create a nation of lifesavers. What is disturbing to me is we have this. We're kind of a nation of bystanders right now, because 9 out of 10 people pass away out in the public that has a heart event. This is outside the hospital, yes.
Wow.
Only 1 out of 10 survived. My guy survived, but that was rare. But it was because the actions that, I jumped in and it was me and others that saved this guy's life. But that's what we're trying to encourage people to do, is to don't be a bystander. Get involved, start CPR, take a class. We have classes at ABC, Home and Commercial Services. They can come join our classes. American Heart Association has other classes. That'll give you the confidence to be able to jump in and help. But what we're saying is 2 things. Call 911, start CPR.
Yep.
And as easy as that sounds, my guy, I forgot to call 911 because in the heat of the moment, but I knew to start CPR. Somebody else called 911, and we saved his life.
But you know what I mean? You're getting better every single time. And I know you don't want to accept it, but you are a hero, heroic to that family. And thank you so much for being sensitive enough to share your story.
Absolutely.
Really big deal. And there's an American Heart Association Austin Heart and Stroke Walk coming up where people can donate money and be part of the organization to help give back and to make sure more trainings like this happen.
We're trying to raise awareness to a nation of lifesavers, not bystanders. We're trying to talk more about CPR. We're trying to provide more classes and access to those classes. There is some fundraising. It's on November 16th. It's at the Moody Amphitheater at Waterloo Park. And it's a great time. Bring the family, bring the dogs. Let's go down there. Let's have fun. It's a nice walk. We go down Congress. You get to look at the Capitol and all the buildings, and then we turn around and come back. So I hope to see everybody there. I really do.
It's a wonderful cause, absolutely. Mark, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, donate and register now for the upcoming Austin Heart and Stroke Walk that you heard mentioned, benefiting the American Heart Association at heart.org. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the American Heart Association. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Infinite Recovery Behavioral Health. Infinite Recovery Behavioral Health aims to get people to live genuine, healthier lives through its drug rehabilitation programs. Today we've got behavioral health nurse Alexis Royal and Donna Connell here to tell us a little bit more. So 7-hydroxy or 7-OH, you're on the front lines. You're seeing an increase in the use of this drug. Can you tell me about it compared to other substances and what it is?
7-OH, also known as 7-hydroxy, is what we like to consider a gas station drug, meaning it is extremely accessible. You can walk into a gas station and pick it up. You can walk into a head shop. You can order it online. But the truth is we have people calling into our phone lines every day that are struggling getting off of this herb, if you will. They're taking this drug thinking because it feels like an opiate in their body, but it's marketed as a safer alternative, that it's safer and the withdrawal symptoms aren't going to be as severe, but in fact, that's not the case.
Tell me about your dual diagnosis and trauma programs and how they can help combat addiction.
There's not a one-size-fits-all program, and having 3 different tracks like we have really allows us to assess that person and their specific needs, and that's our Luna program. And then the trauma track, I mean, as years have gone by, there has just been such a need to like really get down to that root cause of what is causing this addiction. Why am I using substances to cope with these wounds?
Donna, if you wouldn't mind touching on your lived experience, because very few people would have a better idea of what addiction looks like than you.
My father, my husband, and both of my identical twin sons were addicts and alcoholics. I lost one of my sons to an overdose 11 years ago, and my surviving twin is in recovery at the moment. My job at Infinite is to reach out to the families of the clients that come in for treatment. It's heartbreaking and it's hard, and if there's something that I've learned through the process that might ease that journey for them or give them some insight, then that's what I believe my purpose is now.
Alexis, I do want to ask you one last question. If somebody's watching today and maybe they have a member who's in need, or they themselves are ready to finally pick up the phone, what would you say about calling Infinite Recovery Behavioral Health?
As a detox nurse, I've seen people come in through those doors completely broken and hopeless. And 4 months later, when they've done residential PHP and IOP, they're laughing, they're smiling, they're joyous, they're free. And it's just the most incredible thing to see.
Thank you both so much for what it is you do. We appreciate your time. To get started today, go to infiniterecovery.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Infinite Recovery Behavioral Health. Our go-to gals on the show, Adina Anderson, is typically in studio sharing travel and craft tips. But today, look at her. She's live on location somewhere very special, and she's joining us virtually. So Adina, good morning, and tell us where you are.
Good morning. I am out here in Needles, California. I'm actually looking at Arizona, so that I'm kind of on the border here, and it is absolutely beautiful. You'd be a little jealous of the weather. It was a wonderful, brisk morning in my nice little glamping tent, and so.
Sounds good to me. All right, I'm jealous. And this is actually something we discussed the last time that you were in studio. It's the Rebel Rally that we can see like in big lettering behind you. So what's going on?
Yeah, so this is an all-female road course, sand course, rock, like you name it, they're driving it. And it is an 8-day competition. It's the 10th anniversary. I think we're in day 7 today. And they are in their own vehicles or sponsored vehicles. We have Toyota and Ford and Jeep and Hyundai, like you name it. We have a Land Rover behind us here. They are out there just having a blast and competing for this competition.
That's awesome. And I'm seeing, this is kind of what I would say is traditionally more of a guy sport. But I'm seeing women, like tracking things out and being engineers, and it's kind of a great way to take back some power, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. We have 67 teams. It's a 2-team per vehicle. We have a navigator and a driver. They're all women from all walks of life. We have military, we have executives, lawyers, you name it, they're out here. And this is the brainchild of Emily Miller. It's kind of her passion, and she started this, and I think they even have a waiting list to be part of it. Like, it is so amazing. The women, I asked them, why do you come here? Why do you want to do this? And camaraderie was the number one thing. They actually love each other. They like, yeah, they're competing, but they're helping each other. And it's just kind of something that really pumps them up and gets them out there knowing that you can drive your own vehicle and compete in something like this.
Absolutely. Making new friends, people who are interested in the same thing you are. I have to ask about your involvement. When we first chatted, I thought you were going to be a racer. And what do your next couple of days look like? Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
So I got in and I was told, bring a sleeping bag, you're in a tent. And so I was geared up, and I get here and I've got this beautiful glamping tent. Nice. And it's got little lanterns and even a little mirror to get ready. But the people competing are in hardcore tent. But you know what? They have a Michelin chef helping them in the evenings for their
Nice.
meals, and they're given, different kinds of foods and snacks. Like there is no shortage of food here whatsoever.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're not roughing it too hard. That everybody
Well,
is.
I will tell you, tomorrow, so I leave today to like really head out there, and tomorrow I will be in this, and I will be eating this and sleeping in a little rougher of a tent with a sleeping bag. So last night was glamping. Tonight's going to be a little more rugged for me, which I'm totally excited about.
Gotcha. So you keep moving around. I want to hear why they hold this event every single year.
They do it because it's kind of something to get the women out there competing, but also just the intense navigation. And it's just something they love being part of to, just kind of show what you can do. Like you said, it's usually a male dominated situation. This is all female, and we can rock this too.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And Adina, what's next for you after this adventure? You very rarely slow down, my friend.
I am not slowing down. I head home Saturday and I head for Michigan on a Sunday for a week.
Lovely. And Michigan is your home state, isn't that correct?
It is, yeah. So I'll be hitting Wisconsin, Michigan, and Indiana, trying to chase those leaf peeping times, hope to catch them before they're gone.
Yeah, well, I love to hear that. And just if I can, before we let you go in kind of the last minute that we've got here, just talk to me a little bit more about why you wanted to get, involved in the Rebel Rally, because I know you're kind of a Jeep gal. This is cool for you, but are you, getting inspired by the women that you're seeing out there? What's the draw for you here?
Definitely. I'm so inspired. We have a couple ladies, I think there's 6 teams from Texas. We have one from Georgetown, she's ex-military, one from Giddings, and just sitting with them last night and talking with them. And yes, I am a Jeep girl, and being out here with this, it really kind of gave me the bug a little bit to maybe think about next year doing something like this.
Ooh, and you're VIP, so I think you'll skip right over that little waiting list. But it's amazing that it keeps being so popular. And then just, if we can, any crafts that you're thinking about for the next time you come to see us, which will probably be November, December. That's when we're going to be talking about the holidays.
I know Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up, right? So maybe getting inspired out here in the mountains, maybe do something a little with that, or, I got a lot of sand out here. I could maybe do something with that, right?
She's always thinking. And there will be glue dots involved. Adina, thank you, my friend. Have a great time. For more information, everybody, check out Adina's content at travellifewithadina.com or follow along on social media at Adina Anderson.
He's known for playing Elvis on Sun Records, being a finalist on America's Got Talent Season 17, and is now performing at F1 Live right here in Austin this weekend. Singer Drake Milligan joins me now. Drake, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking, man. So, all right, you released your song Tumbleweed just last month. So tell me about this song and kind of why it's important to you.
Well, really, it's a song. As soon as I heard it, it kind of, I guess subconsciously, it kind of made me think about, the last few years on the road. Ever since I really did America's Got Talent in 2022, I kind of felt like a tumbleweed in a lot of ways, just kind of rolling around from town to town. And sometimes it can feel like it's, you got no rhyme or reason to be doing it. But, I got to thinking, it really made me think about, I don't know, all the people around me, my support system, my family, my fans, my band, everybody that's a part of my team that I work with. It just kind of, it's like the reason behind it all, It really made me think of that. And I think, that's kind of what I think of every night now when I sing it is my support system and how they're kind of like the wind to this tumbleweed right here.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a relatable feeling for a lot of people, regardless of what field you're in or what you're kind of pursuing in your life. So you have spent much of 2025 opening for country greats like Lainey Wilson, Luke Bryan, Blake Shelton. So what do these kinds of experiences mean to you to have these highly successful country stars investing in you?
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, actually, we were just in Austin with Lainey Wilson a couple weeks ago at the Moody Center. Had a great time. It's so cool for me. Really, I'm just sitting there, a side stage every night. I get to watch a great show every night and watch some of the best entertainers do what they do at a high level. And so for me, it's just kind of like taking notes and kind of sets the dream on fire again for me, just to want to get to that level and watching the way they treat us, and which is with a ton of respect, and they're so kind to us. And I don't know, it makes you want to become a big star like that, so you can treat people kind the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of learning from the best, if you will. Now, something I really appreciate about you as an artist is I feel like you go about different ways of kind of meeting your fans where they're at. And one of these is this digital series that you started called the Living Room Sessions. And this feels like a very kind of intimate way to connect with your fans. So what was kind of the reasoning of you venturing into that?
Really, it was just a way of, to make kind of content to put out online, and to really incorporate my band in that. It's just, it's kind of, for me, it's kind of invites anybody who wants to, watch, kind of see what a jam session looks like with me and my band. And we also get to do some classic country covers, do like different versions of my songs. And it just became a really fun way to kind of let everybody in and kind of, let them into my living room here where we do all the videos. So, so it just became a fun way to share music in a little bit of a different way. And I'm glad that people seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's special. If people are interested, they can check that out on YouTube. But Drake, one of the main reasons we're speaking today is because, as I mentioned, you are performing at F1 this weekend here in Austin, which everyone in Austin is excited about and people will be traveling in for. It's a pretty big deal. So can you tell us what we can expect from your performance and kind of what this specific opportunity means to you? It's a different stage than you've done before.
It's definitely a different stage than I've done before. We're going to perform right there on the grid. So it's kind of the first time F1 is doing this. So I feel honored, first of all, to be kind of the first up to do it. I'm sure it's going to be a very successful thing for them. And it's just an honor to be a part of it. I mean, F1 is huge, not only here now, but all across the world. So it's a worldwide audience. And we're gonna bring a lot of energy to it. I'm planning on, me and the band are really excited for it. We plan on rocking out a little bit and getting everybody excited for a great day and a great race.
Yeah, well, there's so many people looking forward to that, so we can't wait to see you live. But one of my final questions here for you, Drake, is that, you've already had so much success this year with music you've released, and you've been touring quite a bit, but what's kind of ahead for you and your music that you can tease for your fans?
Well, we've got some exciting stuff coming up. I do have an album that I just recorded that we plan on releasing very soon, and some new music coming out. And again, we're gonna get right back on the road, especially next year, and come play shows really all over the world for everybody. So, just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of ways people can kind of keep up with you and your music, but specifically, how can fans stay connected with you?
Yeah, just go to drakemilligan.com. You can find links to all my social media on there, and as well as merchandise or touring shows wherever we're going to be. So just stay updated on that. There's even a thing you can put in, put your email address and everything in if you want to stay updated.
All right, easy enough. You make it so simple. Drake, thank you so much. Drake Milligan live at F1 this weekend in Austin, and you can check out his music on all music streaming platforms.
The following portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by CPI Health. Capital Pain Institute offers comprehensive pain management services that are tailored to each and every patient that walks through the door. Dr. Andrew Phillips is here to tell us more today. And Dr. Phillips, I want to start with what comprehensive pain management actually means for someone who might be dealing with chronic pain.
Yes, so when we have patients coming through the door, we want to make sure that we figure out exactly what's going on. So sometimes that involves some investigation with some more imaging or about some other studies or tests. Also just taking into account that everyone's pain is a little bit different. So we also start things a little bit more conservatively, maybe some physical therapy, trying to find other ways to try to minimize pain medication and other types of medications.
All right, Dr. Phillips, what kind of conditions do you guys typically treat here at CPI?
Yes, so we treat a whole host of conditions and all types of pain. So we have muscle pains, we have joint pains that we see nerve pains, whether it's chronic, things like diabetic neuropathies in the feet we see a lot of the time as well. Things like complex regional pain syndrome is another condition that we see. We see most often a lot of stuff in the neck and the back as well.
Okay, all right. What's your advice to someone who actually thinks, yeah, I've just got to live with the pain? They might have even been told that by a doctor.
You know, I hear that all the time, and the first thing I say to them is, you do not need to live with the pain. They come in here and they've learned to do their daily lives, but in a way that they're struggling. And there are just so many things that we can do to really help their pain. It can affect you physically, it can affect you mentally, it can affect you emotionally, it affects relationships, it affects mood. And you know, to try to get to the source of the pain, you're able to help so many aspects of life, and you don't need to live with it.
All right, Dr. Phillips, what kind of advanced procedures does CPI offer for people who maybe haven't found relief through other treatments yet?
Right, so we have a whole host of things that we can do. So we typically start with the most conservative first, right? We want to do the least amount of stuff that's possible to give you the relief that you're looking for. So with that, you know, once we figure out what's going on, things are like injections, right? Something like an epidural steroid injection, totally different than a pregnancy epidural, I promise you. It is very finessed and looking to try to reduce inflammation around nerves.
I did ask you earlier, and I'd like you to talk about this on camera, is basically, does someone need to know what's wrong with their back in order to walk through the door here?
They definitely do not. Really, you know, when people hear about back pain, you know, they hear about back pain from their family and their friends, and they're like, I have back pain, you have back pain, you did this, I did this. The thing is, not one treatment is the same for everyone. So what our goal is, you come in the door, we will do everything possible to figure out what's going on.
Detectives as well as doctors.
Absolutely,
and big on
absolutely.
teamwork. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate your time, Dr. Phillips. Thank you.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Capital Pain Institute has multiple locations in the Austin area. Find the one nearest you at capitalpain.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by CPI Health. We have a lot of fun here on Studio 512. If you missed any of our great segments, be sure to check out our website where we like to post the fun things we do. Our feed covers content like arts and entertainment, food and drink, fashion and beauty, home and garden stuff for kids and pets, as well as information from area experts. In addition, you can check out web-exclusive content that you can only find on Studio512TV.com. We also love to post behind-the-scenes funny moments, outfit inspirations, and more on social media. Find us by searching for Studio 512 on your favorite platform. You don't want to miss a single post. Be sure to follow us, check out our website, and watch us every weekday at 11 a.m. right here on CW Austin. Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by the American Heart Association, Drop Shots, Moody Gardens, Serenity Mental Health, and Infinite Recovery.